All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me all right. It's going to be loud here today. As you can see, I'm not in my normal spot, but it's good to be back on the show this week. I want to give I'll get started here in a second, but shout out to my man, brother from another mother, Mr. Gene Campbell, for stepping in, taking over the weekly wrap up and covering down for me last week as I was out of service. So we're starting early. We're starting early today because there's a lot going on. So I apologize for those of you that jump on a little bit later in the show, wondering if you missed anything. No, it's just me starting early because I got a little bit more travel going on today. Let's share this out here. Yeah, like I said, sorry. It's gonna be it's gonna be loud. I'm looking for another remote place to do this while I'm up in the North Woods here. But let's go ahead and get started today anyway, because there's a lot to cover. First off, again, I want to give a big thanks to Gene Campbell for stepping in last week, 4th of July. I hope everybody had a great Independence Day and weekend. A lot of crazy stuff has happened since then, and we're going to talk a little bit about that this morning. And before we dive into that, please go check out our website, heroesmediagroup.com. We got some great shows over there. Click on the podcast. And we got some new shows coming up here that we're going to make an announcement next week with a new show that's coming on board at the beginning of August that we're really excited about. So, yeah. What do we got here? Hello over on the gram. Appreciate you guys jumping on. All right, so we're going to dive into some of these topics. Crazy week, right? Floods in Texas. This came out. This article came out about 3 hours ago. It's from NBC. Trump heads to Texas as recovery efforts from deadly flood still continue. The president and the first lady are going to be traveling to Texas today to meet with first responders, grieving families in the aftermath of last week's catastrophic flooding. He is expected to receive a briefing from local elected officials on and meet with victims, relatives. If you haven't been watching, I mean, the flood's been down there, and what has happened, the devastation is mind-blowing and sad. Ted Cruz, John Cornyn are also told reporters this week that they are planning to traveling down there to assess the flood damage. Authorities continue to search miles of the Guadalupe River for more than 150 people who remain missing. And as of about 3 hours ago, the death toll was up to 200 in some reports. So very sad what's going on in Texas right now. Among that number, 27 confirmed were children and counselors of that Camp Mystic, a Christian summer camp in Hunt, Texas. So our thoughts and prayers, whatever that means for the families, but we're thinking of you out there. This is it's crazy what's going on down there. If you can help, there's a lot of nonprofits, and I'm going to get a list. I'm working on a list of people that are down there right now. We have a few people Battle to Be with Krista Phoenix. If you look at Battle to Be podcast or Rise Up from the Front Lines, the host Krista, she's down there doing some efforts and stuff like that. We're going to be communicating with her later today and see how, if you want to help out, donate. We're going to get those links and post those up later this afternoon while we're on the road. So, and we're going to be in Texas personally here in about 3 weeks. We're going to be down in Austin So maybe we'll have some updates on that, and hopefully a lot of it's cleaned up and got more stuff going on. But they need help down there. So if you know anybody, post a link of anybody that you know in Texas that's that is suffering from the floods or is down there helping with recovery. Leave a comment below so we can blast that out and get more resources down there. All right, moving on. With the floods, a hero was born, right? Coast Guard rescue swimmer saves over 200 from Texas flood in his very first mission. This is coming up a lot this week on social media. A U.S. Coast Guard rescue swimmer is being called an American hero by many after he rescued over 200 people from the deadly floods that took place in Texas over the 4th of July. This was his first rescue mission of his career, and he was. I thought I had more notes on here. Apparently, I don't. Nonetheless, the gentleman's name, I'm going to have that on here. My apologies. I thought I had this on here, but I don't. But you look at this, and this is what a true hero is. 200 people, Coast Guard coming in there, saving men, women, and children. And the fact that this was his first time doing this was something else. So shout out to the Coast Guard and everybody that they do. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry, I put it in the wrong one. Give me a second here. It's U.S. Coast Guard Petty Officer Scott Ruskin. Hope I said his name right. An aviation survival technician, 3rd class, stationed at Corpus Christi. This one says directly saved 165 people from rising floodwaters. They said something like the waters went from like 0 to 26 feet in like 45 minutes. I mean, can you think about that? I mean, that is just absolutely mind-blowing. Gene Campbell, there he is. I appreciate you, brother. How are you? Gabriel Wren, appreciate you, bro. Good morning to you. Thanks, guys, for jumping on. And again, sorry for the loudness in the background. We're doing it quick today. We're going to be traveling. I will be going live a little bit later from a special spot if they allow me to. A little teaser there. So, yeah, U.S. Coast Guard coming in strong, and like I said, it's despite the floods in Texas. Hearing what the Coast Guard did and being out there, awesome job, guys. Awesome job. Let's move on because I really don't have a lot of stories this morning. But now let's address the elephant in the room, Epstein list. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Did the FBI and the DOJ did the American people get screwed? Did we get lied to? Was there ever enough evidence? Do they have the evidence, or are they just hiding it? Or is the evidence gone, or has it been tampered with? And the other question that I have is, have we been fooled by the now people in charge? You look at the FBI and who's in charge there with Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. Were we fooled to get them into office? I'm just going to let that marinate for a second. I want answers, guys, just like a lot of us do. But were we fooled? Were we fooled by it? Were we hoaxed? Was this all part of a bigger plan? Some could call it a conspiracy, sure. But what are your guys' thoughts on the Epstein list? We've been told now that they're closing it out and there's nothing else that they're going to give to the public. So if that's the case, then is this Maxwell gal, she's the only person that's ever been arrested in ties with anything. Does that mean that she's innocent then, since there wasn't a supportive list? I'm just asking. Raises a lot of questions. Now, here's what I think. This is one theory, I guess, is they don't have enough evidence because previous people that were part of the FBI or whatnot is I think there's too much of the evidence was tampered with, and they can't tie certain things together. Let me see here. Gene's got something to say here. What do we got here, Gene? Take place a good day. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Gene. It's just interesting to me that the people that are in charge now for years talked about how they were going to bring this list to light, and now all of a sudden there's nothing else to push. What are they hiding? And maybe they're not hiding anything at all. Let me be clear. Maybe they're not hiding anything at all. Maybe the evidence that was once there has been tampered with and damaged so much that they can't get a conviction. That could happen. But I would think I would go out to say that there's probably enough evidence out there that there could be several convictions. I bet you there's still a list somewhere. You know there's copies of that list. Somebody's got a copy of a list somewhere. Or is that what we want to believe? Because again, look at who's in charge currently. And those people kind of rode those coattails that made promises that once they got into office, that list was going to be put out to the public and those people were going to be held accountable. And now it's the supporters of those people are pissed off. Republicans, far right, likes-minded people that are mad because everything now is being shut down. So, Shirley, good morning. Thanks for jumping on, Shirley. So I really, I think there's a lot of questions that we need to ask this week. Is did the FBI, did the DOJ, did President Trump fail us? And I say us. Did they fail America by not producing the Epstein list as promised? I want your guys' input on this. Leave a comment of what your thoughts are on the Epstein stuff. And again, a lot of people are disappointed, rightfully so. But then you have to ask yourself: Are they gonna take Maxwell out of jail or prison because they don't have any supporting evidence that she was involved? If there's no list, right? They said that Epstein hung himself. Personally, I'm not bought on that. I could be wrong. Still early in the day. But what are your guys' thoughts on it? Seriously, leave a comment. And when you look at some of the stuff that's out there right now on this Epstein stuff and new files coming out, it's there's a lot of different stories out there. And it's pretty interesting. But when you start putting the puzzle pieces together, it kind of makes you raise an eyebrow. Just my opinion. All right, guys, I got to be traveling today, so let's dive into some of the stuff that we got coming up here. This is a great event by some great people, a great veteran organization. Coming up Saturday, July 19th, presented by Pass the Torch for Veterans. This is happening from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Barn in Nottingham, Pennsylvania. If you're out east and you're in the Nottingham, Pennsylvania area, please go support our friends over at Pass the Torch. This is going to be an amazing event. They got another event coming up the Friday, I believe it's the 18th. It's a gala that they're doing as well. Find more information at passthetorchforveterans.com. So check them out. Just a few weeks away, next month, I will be in Clearwater, Florida for the second annual Salute to American Heroes. It's a celebrity benefit concert. It's going to be Sunday, August 17th at the OCC Roadhouse Museum. It's the Orange County Chopper Roadhouse Museum in Clearwater, Florida. They're looking for sponsors, and they have tickets for sale. HMG is one of the supporting organizations there. One of the reasons why I'm going to be present down there. I'll be doing interviews on the red carpet that night. If you are in Florida, and a lot of you guys that watch are in that area, come on over to Clearwater. Let's break some bread and have a good time together. August 17th. You can go to salutetoamericaheroes.com for tickets, or drop me a DM, and we'll try to get you some tickets to get in there. But it's Clearwater, Florida, August 17th. I'm on the road all month this month. First part of August, we're heading down to Texas. So let me just put this out there. Any Texas folks that want to get together, I'm going to be shooting through Dallas. I'll be in Austin, Texas on August 4th through about August 12th. So if you're in the Texas area, August 4th through August 12th, I'll be in the Austin, Texas area. Hit me up and let me know. Ken, good morning to you, brother. How you doing? David Willis, what's up, brother? How are you? Uncle Rob, what's going on? Good to see you. Appreciate you guys jumping on this morning. I really do. Thank you. So, again, if you missed the beginning of the show, jump on there. Let me know your thoughts on some of the news headlines this week. And yeah, it's been crazy. I say. Doing pretty good, Dave. Doing pretty good. So let's get that out of there. All right. Let's hit up, one more thing. So I told you guys, starting August 1st, we got a new show that's coming onto the network, right? But also what we're doing here at Heroes Media Group, we want to hear more hero stories, right? I talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago, spotlighting real-life community heroes. Who's changing lives in your community? Let's highlight them here on HMG. This is supposed to be a network that's filled with positivity, telling the good stories of the heroes that are out there doing good in the community that don't get recognized. So here's what I need from all of you here in the next week or two. Send us an email, and if I had it ready, which I don't, give me just a second here. I'm sure I have it here. Right. Oh, there it is. Right there. Right there. Send me an email at media@heroesmediagrp. I want feel-good stories. Who in your community is doing good? Who do you want to nominate as a community hero? And let's share a little bit of their story and why you think they should be recognized as a community hero. All you got to do is send an email to media@heroesmediagrp, and we're going to highlight that community hero. We're going to start this process in the first week of August. That's what I would like to do. First Friday of August. We're getting all the shows here at HMG involved, but we want to get you, the viewers, and the listeners involved as well. Tell us who in your community is doing good, and let's highlight them every week. All right. So that's what I'm asking from you guys as a community. Send me an email, media@heroesmediagroup.com. Who in your community is a community hero and why? So let us know. Let me see here. All right. What else? What else do we have? Maker's Machine. Didn't put it up here. Maker's Machine. We got an inner circle right now called the Maker's Machine. If you're a business owner, podcaster, realtor, it doesn't matter what you are, but if you are a small business owner and you're looking for support, hit us up. You can also send an email there at media@heroesmediagroup.com. Subject line, Maker's Machine. We'll get you some more information on that. So that being said, let's keep the ball rolling here. And I can't see everybody's comments here because I got a small screen. So I will get to you guys, I promise. All right, shows. Double S Podcast. They got their YouTube channel, Double S Podcast on YouTube. Gene, if you're still on, put your YouTube link underneath. Go check out their shows. And like I said, Gene Campbell covered down for me last week, being out. So Gene, thank you again for that. Check out Double S Podcast. Good times. Veteran Dad Podcast. How many of you dads out there, you have the dad life balance, right? You're always a dad. But what about your life? You're trying to find that balance. And the question in this week's episode, I couldn't help but to chuckle. Do you always like your kids? Adam Cummings, the host of the show, they kind of go into it a little bit this week about what is it like being a veteran dad, some of the struggles and whatnot. So this was a lighthearted show, I will say, and I definitely had some chuckles with it. So Veteran Dad Podcast, check it out. Gene, thank you. I appreciate that. Double F Podcast on YouTube. So it's perfect. Okay, I had it right. Woo, scoring good. Unapologetic Veterans Podcast, one of the newer shows on HMG. They do live TikToks. You can check them out on TikTok at Unapologetic Veteran Podcast. The Disgruntled PM, the mouthful, the Disgruntled PM. This week, the title is, so what does a PM actually do? And when I say PM, I mean project manager. Trevor Greenberg, he's the host of the Disgruntled PM, dives into fundamentals of project management. He discusses the definition of a project, emphasizing its temporary and unique nature. He introduces the triangle of pain. What is that? Well, take a listen to find out. Disgruntled PM Podcast. Again, folks, you can find all of the shows that we have here on HMG by simply going to heroesmediagroup.com. Click on the podcast, and it'll give you a list of directories of all the great shows that we have right here on the network. Speak Up, Show Up, Lead Podcast, the Resilience Leadership Podcast with JJ Hardy. Go check it out. He's always got stuff going on Facebook. Keep It Spiritually Simple with Sandra McEllis. She does she's got short clips that she does on her YouTube channel at Sandra McEllis. Faith, Valor, Growth. First off, congratulations to Faith, Valor, Growth. Season 2 just went live last week. This week. Faith, Valor, Growth just went live. Season 2 just went live today, earlier this morning. This week they're talking faith, failure, and resilience in military life. And in this episode, Dominic Licata, who's the host of Faith, Valor, Growth, has another HMG host, JMac, Josh from the JMac podcast, on, and they're talking the critical issues of veteran mental health and suicide prevention, and they both share raw experiences with depression and suicidal thoughts, offering listeners a candid look to struggles many face. And the conversation explores various coping mechanisms from traditional therapy to alternative treatments like psilocybin and microdosing. So this was a really cool episode, a lot of information in it, and very heartfelt. So Faith, Valor, Growth, check it out. There's the Strategic Veteran with our man Adam Peters. This week he is what happens when the Navy closes the door on you overnight, but the storms in your head keep raging on. This week, special guest Rob Wheeler went from bullied undies deck swabber to combat-tested Navy cop, then straight into the medical discharge abyss. He crawled back with a barbell in one hand and a microphone in the other. He has a show called Battle Fitted and Battle Harder podcast to drag vets and first responders off the couch and back into the fight. This was a really cool episode that Adam has mostly does. And a shout out to Adam, who took a group down to Peru starting tomorrow, I believe, for the ayahuasca trip and stuff like that. And we'll tag that in the show notes later today as well, because he's got another trip coming up in September that he's planning for. So if you're interested in that, make sure you reach out. What do we got next? Homefront Sit Rep podcast. Mr. David Willis. They do a couple of shows a week. They do 2 shows a week. When it comes to health, From the Farm delivers. He has our buddy AJ Richards from the farm on talking about what From the Farm offers, meats, producers, and how to look at local ranchers and farmers in your area, buy direct from them. So this great episode. AJ pumps out a lot of knowledge and information and foods about food sovereignty as a whole. So Homefront Sit Rep podcast, go check it out. J-Max got some stuff coming up. You can check his stuff out. Senior Living Guide, another great shows that they got coming up. Patriots Inside the Wire, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with the Two-Step Tribe and the Two-Step Show, Tracy Laporte and Uncle Ryan. They do a fantastic job. You can find their stuff live on Patriots Inside the Wire on Facebook three nights a week. Arms Room Show. This week they're discussing being ready and prepared for the worst. Seemed like a perfect topic for the week, right? So check that out. If you're not following the Arms Room Show, you're missing out, because they always put out a lot of great information. Misfit Nation podcast. This week, Rich LaMonica sits down with retired U.S. Army Major Gerald Gangarm, a decorated combat pilot turned national advocate for civic education. Gerald went from West Point to the battlefields of Afghanistan, where he led soldiers and flew Apache helicopters during Operation Enduring Freedom. So now as today, Gerald serves as the Vice President of Civic Leadership Development at the Bill of Rights Institute, where he empowers students and leaders to embrace America's founding principles. Really cool episode. Check it out, Misfit Nation podcast. They do a couple of episodes a week as well. Excuse me. All right. Next up, Label Free podcast. Deanna Redolescu welcomes best-selling romance author and global speaker Marisol James with over 32 romance novels. To her name, Marisol has transitioned from writing to coaching, focusing on empowering high-achieving women who have experienced narcissistic abuse. I know a lot of you right now that are watching this love romance novels. Go check this out. Label Free podcast. All right, We Got Your 6 at 6 with the People's Patriot Project is up next. And this coming week, July 13th, they're going to feature guest Kathy McLaw with Think Virtues and special guest musician Jack Nelson of the Jack Nelson Band. You can catch their show live at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, Sunday night. This is going to be an awesome show, so stand by for that. 6 p.m. Sunday night. We Got Your 6 at 6 with the People's Patriot Project. Check it out. Other Side of the Firewall is next. This episode, they do a show Monday through Friday. Yesterday's episode was with special guest Edgar Vanderpool. He discusses his unique journey from the automotive industry into becoming a business information security officer, and they explore the different skills that are required for that role. Pretty cool. Other Side of the Firewall. Check it out. Pushing Back Chaos. They decided to come back and bless us with a presence with a very special episode this week. I'm busting their chops. So I'm making an announcement about this show here. I'm going to take a step back here. And this isn't in my notes, but I'm going to bring it up. For the last 5 years, Pushing Back Chaos, there's one of the hosts, Mike, or he goes by Mike, they've done a fantastic job, first and foremost, but one of the show hosts shows his true identity for the very first time this week. Mike, real name is Chris, and I've known Chris for the last 5 years. I've worked with him for the last 5 years. I'm not going to say what he does because his job has nothing to do with the show or anything like that. If you haven't listened to Pushing Back Chaos, he talks about what his job is just a little bit and why his identity was changed for the last 5 years. But this week was an awesome episode. They sit down with Chris's cousin, or not Chris's cousin. I believe it's Melon's cousin. Could be wrong. Either way, one of the co-host cousin, Dion Pride, son of late country music Hall of Famer Charlie Pride, to explore what truly means to carry a legacy with honor without losing your own identity in the process. And this was such a very cool episode for Chris, and a very cool episode for Melon, as Melon shares a personal story with about Dion and whatnot. I'm not going to get. That's all I'm going to say. That's kind of the teaser because I really want you guys to listen. This was a very awesome and powerful episode. It's called Pushing Back Chaos with special guest Dion Pride. You got to check it out. Check it out. All right, two left. Chasing Happiness. This week, Ryan every week just bringing it. Honest truth about how he stopped leading from panic and started leading from peace. It wasn't a planner. It wasn't a productivity hack. He talks about how a mind shift is what I call it, mind shift. So check it out, Chasing Happiness. And then we have Rise Up Voices from the Front Line. This week they unpack the sneaky transformation of boundaries from tools of connection into weapons of control, and how trauma, stress, and the nervous system can quickly hijack our best intentions. So true. Another great episode. Rise Up Voices from the Front Line. This is Krista Phoenix. This is one that I was telling you that's on the ground, boots on the ground in Texas right now. Make sure you guys reach out. Special shout out to Anthony Moriello and his crew over at My Tax Fella. My buddy Barry, a veteran-owned business at Forget Genetics. Another veteran-owned business, Jim Neary's Live Bait and Tackle, Warriors on the Water Ltd, Fin Tactical, the Freedom People, you got to check them out, VA Claim Builder, and then, of course, our sister company, HMG Beverage. Guys, we covered a lot in a very, very short amount of time today. I appreciate you guys' patience. Like I said, it's this month is going to be a fun month as I'm traveling. I'm in Wisconsin right now. Next month we'll be in Texas and Florida, but I will be up here for the next couple of weeks. So if you're in Minnesota, Illinois, Iowa, or Wisconsin, and you want to get together, hit me up because I'm going to be staying up in the Northwoods, up north as we say up here. I'm going to be up north for a couple more weeks. David, good morning, brother. Appreciate you. Love to get together with you guys. So hit me up. Drop me a DM, or those of you that got my cell phone, shoot me a text. Gene, have a good one, brother. Appreciate you. What else? Go back to the beginning of the show where I talked about the news topics. That's all I'm going to say. For those of you, David, I know you just jumped on. If you didn't hear what I was talking about with the Epstein files, go back and listen to the first part of the show and leave a comment. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on this. And if you got something that you want me to talk about next week, leave it in the comment section below, or drop us a DM on Facebook there, or in a message, or email us at, let me bring the media thing up again. Email me right there with my finger right there, media@Heroes Media GRP. Send me an email and give me some topics that you guys want to discuss, what you want me to discuss on the show. Listen, that's all the time I got today. I got to get back on the road. I appreciate you guys. It's good to be back here this week. Next week, might have a show guest. Keep you posted. Stand by for that. This weekend, get outside, unplug from the internets, put your phone away. Challenge you to put your phone away for an hour or two. Just put it away. Protect your brains. All right. God bless you. God bless America. I appreciate you guys. And we will see you guys next week. Take care, everybody.